podcast.
Welcome to MeatEater Trivia, the only game show where conservation always wins. I'm your host, Spencer Neuharth, and today we're joined by Randall, Brody, Cory, Hanzi, Tressa, and Logan. This is a 10-round quiz show with questions from MeatEater's 4 verticals, which are hunting, fishing, conservation, and cooking, and there is a prize. MeatEater will donate $500 to the conservation organization of the winner's choosing. And for the stat of the week this week, we're looking at perfect games. On average, 6.4% of episodes end in a perfect game, but with only one perfect game so far this year, it's been 4% of episodes in 2025. If only Randall would have gotten that perfect game last week.
I was about to ask you why we're talking about perfect games this week.
Last week.
It seems as though you've used this bit to needle me in advance of our competition.
I think Randall in 2024, when he was still hungry for a MeatEater Trivia Championship, he wouldn't have made that mistake.
Oh, no, I'm pretty sure I made the same mistake.
Oh, okay.
On question 10 of a near perfect game last year as well.
Oh,
Bighorn
on
Chief
question 10. I
Yeah.
wish I'd have been here to see that.
Oh, it was bad too. I just misread the question.
Did your face get really red like it usually does?
No, I just laughed a
You'd
lot.
have liked it,
It was
Brody.
so bad.
You're growing as a person then.
He was
Yeah.
he was digging through his Instagram DMs to find out who he was going to donate
just a game.
to while he sat there with the wrong answer on his whiteboard for
What was
full,
it?
2 minutes.
Yeah, I just misread the question. I read elk as moose. And so I answered.
We're not in Sweden.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't think about that spin.
Wow.
I'm cosmopolitan.
So now we have less perfect games, less money for conservation.
Oh, we'll get there. Don't worry.
Here's our infrequently asked questions segment. If you have a trivia-related question for our crew, send it to trivia@themeateater.com with the subject line IFAQ. Pat Von Coy says, how do you decide in which order to place the questions? There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason. I'm not complaining, just a man of structure. I'm genuinely curious. There is some structure. I spread out the questions by topic, so I never want like 2 hunting questions in the first 5 or 2 fishing questions in the last 5. I try to spread out regional diversity, so I don't want a question about Alabama followed by a question about Georgia. And I don't want like a question about Western big game followed by another question about Western big game. So I spread it out that way. I try to balance difficulty between the first 5 and last 5 questions. So if the Shelby index is like a 4, I'll try to put 2 she got right in the front half and 2 in the back half. That way it's not lopsided. And then I try to put a challenging question at question 9 or 10. That might be the difference maker for a tight game between Randall and Brody. I don't want to always make it question 10, though.
Geez, Spencer, you could have just said you like to mix it up.
I like to mix it up. I want Pat Von Coy to know that there's a lot of thought that goes into the ordering of it.
And question 10 is always fishing.
I was going to say, yeah, there's one last rule you forgot. Question 10 is
right.
fishing.
Mm-hmm.
He proved that wrong many
Nope,
times.
100% of the time.
Yeah.
Fishing.
I thought it was a
fishing today?
half-assed.
It is
Can I
not
look
fishing.
forward to it?
We have fishing at question 9, though. So it does the same damage to Randall either way.
I'm going to make a little note for myself.
Yeah, for someone who's a fishing guy, he's pretty
thinking about
weak in the fishing
A
questions.
captain.
Yeah.
Captain and a fishing guide. Now, we have some housekeeping today about more potential Jeopardy thievery. On the episode of MeatEater Trivia that dropped on May 21st, we had a question where the answer was diorama. Then, on the May 27th episode of Jeopardy Masters, they had a question where the answer was also diorama. So, just 6 days apart. Now, I couldn't find the Jeopardy Masters film schedule for 2025, but I could for 2024. Last year, they filmed episodes of Jeopardy Masters roughly 2 weeks before airing. So, assuming they kept a similar cadence this year, then it's just a coincidence that both had diorama for an answer. But the real takeaway here is that our show is as good as their show.
That's right.
And then maybe Jeopardy needs to think about hiring me when Ken Jennings moves on. He's only 51, so it's going to be a little while before they
But he's
call
wealthy.
me.
You could have Phil come up with a new Jeopardy tune jingle.
Oh, yeah, I don't think you mess with that. That you'd lose your
don't know.
viewers if you
know.
threw Phil in there. But I'll take Phil with me. Phil, if Jeopardy calls, I'll take you with me to Jeopardy. How about that?
That's so kind.
Randall, you
I'm
want
right
to come
there
with?
with
You
I'd
think?
love to do that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll still be here.
3-person. We've got 3 people Jeopardy then that you could come hire.
have
Now
to
the
live in
Shelby
LA?
index for today is a 4, so our winner should get 8 correct answers. And with that, we're on to the game of trivia. Play the drop, Phil.
Look, I need to know what I stand to win.
Everything.
How's that?
You stand to win everything.
suckers.
Question 1, the topic is conservation. This first great question is via Peter Doggum. As always, it will be multiple choice. What percentage of Canada is crown land? Is it 14%, 39%, 64%, or 89%? Crown land is Canada's version of public lands. What percentage of Canada is public land? Is it 14%, 39%, 64%, or 89%? Not a real confident room. Brody was first to answer. What percentage of Canada is crown land? 14%, 39%, 64%, 89%. Brody, how do you feel about your answer?
I mean, I used I used some thought.
Okay.
I didn't just guess.
14%, 39%, 64%.
It's all burning right now.
What were the numbers that went into your thought? Do you have
It wasn't numbers. It was like places.
Just gut.
Yeah, like you think about the layout of Canada.
Is everybody ready?
Oh, jeez.
Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Hanzi saying 39. Tressa says 14. Randall says 14. Cory, 64. Logan, 39. Brody, 64. The correct answer is 89%.
Whoa.
Nobody got that one right.
I figured it was a lot.
In fact, I think we had multiple people go on the other end of the spectrum and say 14%. 48% of Canada is provincial crown land and 41% is federal crown land. That means just 11% of the country is privately owned. In the United States, about 40% of the country is public land.
I mean, you think like Yukon, Northwest Territories, like
Just
nobody's
purely public
owning
land.
that stuff.
No, in
you
fact,
know?
I think it's like, what's the stats? Like 80% of their population lives south of, I don't know, Maine or something like that.
49th parallel.
Yeah. 89% of Canada is public land. Question 2, the topic is hunting. It's a tough start for our 6 players today. This big game magazine was founded in 1987 and calls itself, quote, a 3-generation media-based hunting company. This big game magazine was founded in 1987 and calls itself a 3-generation media-based hunting company. Randall already has his answer. Brody as well. Randall, do you have this one right?
I do.
How about you, Brody?
I think so.
A
Not like,
3-generation media-based hunting company.
I'm about as confident as the percentage of public land in Canada.
Founded in 1987.
Boy, that was a heck of a first question, Spencer.
Tough start.
Yeah.
89%. This big game magazine was founded in 1987 and calls itself a 3-generation media-based hunting company. Our other 4 players look stumped.
Do we need the...
Is this a magazine, if you're right, Randall, that you've ever been subscribed to?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to leave it.
Brody, if you think you have the right answer, is this a magazine that you've been subscribed to?
Never subscribed to it.
Okay, but you're aware of it. This big game magazine was founded in 1987 and calls itself, quote, a 3-generation media-based hunting company. Is everybody ready?
No, one sec. Let me write down the wrong answer.
That was
real
back
quick.
in the
Yeah,
heyday
right.
of magazines, man.
It was
87. This ain't right.
1987.
Just a little baby then. I didn't.
How
need it.
little of a baby?
Well, it depends when it was founded in 1987.
Oh, okay.
I mean, as little as, I guess, 3 months,
Uh-huh.
potentially 14 months.
Wow.
Hold on one second.
Okay.
That was
Right.
that was
Is
a
that a
clue.
little bit better of an answer?
Does that math work? I don't know.
Sure.
Close enough.
This isn't right, but
Corey going back to his whiteboard
think this
a
is even a
second time.
magazine.
Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Hanzi saying Peterson's.
Oh.
Tressa says the Outdoor Channel. Randall says Eastman's. Cory says Sports Afield. Logan, Field and Stream. Brody, Eastman's.
Oh yeah, duh.
The correct answer is Eastman's. Brody and Randall got
I
that
was
one
wondering
right.
if you were going to make us, because isn't it like Eastman's Hunting something or
Well,
other?
it's Easton's Hunting Journal, and then I think like a decade
they have
later is
Bow-
when they
Bow
found
Hunting
Bow
Journal.
Hunting Journal.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Gordon
how-
Eastman started
Grandpa
filming
Gordon.
hunting in the 1950s, which inspired his son Mike to create the magazine in 1987. It wasn't long before his sons Guy and Ike got involved with the brand. Eastman still publishes 12 magazines a year.
Based in Powell, Wyoming.
That's right. They're kind of
One
a
of those
dinosaur
boys
out
used
there.
to shoot some
Oh,
giant mule
yeah.
deer.
You don't think they
God,
do
man.
anymore?
Well, I mean, I'm sure they still do, but like
They have all
that part of Wyoming is just not what it
the
used to
classic
be.
like winter range bucks that all had names and everything.
Popeye.
Popeye, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they're like the two pillars of their magazine are like success stories from readers, and then the draw odds, which is something that a million companies are doing now. But Eastman's for a while.
Oh, a bunch
I
of
feel like they were kind of the place.
a bunch of magazines ripped that like format off
Right.
too after them.
Yeah. Question 3, the topic is public lands. This is our listener question of the week, which was won by Nicholas Schneck. For sending this great question, Nicholas is going to get a board game signed by the crew. If you want a chance to win the listener question of the week, then send your question to trivia@themeateater.com. The National Park Service recommends wrapping your vehicle in tarp while visiting Kings Canyon to prevent this animal from eating your radiator hose. And we have a photo
That looks ridiculous.
of some tarped vehicles there. You can see this on the MeatEater Podcast YouTube channel. I'm also going to post this on Instagram, this photo that I'm referencing. The National Park Service recommends wrapping your vehicle in tarp while visiting Kings Canyon to prevent this animal from eating your radiator hose.
Chicken wire too.
Chicken
Yep.
wire as well. The National Park Service now says that is antiquated. So don't do chicken wire.
I wouldn't be worried about this at Kings Canyon. I've heard stories of people being stranded at remote trailheads.
The National Park Service
Due to this
recommends
problem.
wrapping your vehicle in tarp while visiting Kings Canyon to prevent this animal from eating your radiator hose. There are, I think, 7 vehicles in this photo, and 4 of them have the tarp on them.
2 of them are Priuses.
That looks so dumb.
So again, we're looking for the animal. Is everybody ready? Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Hanzi saying marmots. Tressa says pack rat. Randall says porcupine. Cory says pack rat. Logan says porcupine. Brody says marmot.
Oh.
The correct answer is marmot.
Oh,
You
yeah,
folks
baby.
got that one
you sure it's
right.
not pack rat?
So my wife and I had one get into our Toyota Tundra 3 years ago. Made itself a home
At your house?
And yeah, it was in there for about an hour and did $1,500 worth of damage.
Oh my goodness. What
And
did
then
you
it
do
would-
specifically?
And then, it ate hoses and electrical, which apparently during that year of Toyota, they made a bunch of these hoses with like a soybean compound. Which is like, come on, it might as well have been peanut butter. But yeah, that thing saw a sad demise.
Yeah, one of Giannis's neighbors also watched a marmot crawl up under his pickup, and it was kind of amusing at first. And then he read online, within a few minutes of that, the damage they can do, and then it was a problem.
Yeah.
Marmots disable about 30 vehicles every year in California's Kings Canyon National Park by chewing through car wiring. They also say visitors often unknowingly give rides to marmots out of the park that are stowed away in engine compartments. The park used to recommend wrapping your vehicle in chicken wire, but now say that marmots have learned how to get around it. The large rodents are attracted to antifreeze, which biologists say gives them, quote, a bit of a high.
Really? They survived that?
They
Like, that
survived
killed,
it.
Like,
They started tracking them.
deadly to
They started
dogs.
tracking them one year. I noticed that they would walk off stunned, but then they would come back the next year. And there was like almost, they came short of calling it an addiction when these things would start getting up in cars and chewing on wires. So
No, it just makes you feel good. It's not addiction.
very different.
I'd open a Harbor Freight right outside the gates of Kings Canyon.
I'm
there.
actually
Make a
impressed at
fortune.
how many people do this. I just don't need to go to Kings Canyon if I need to wrap my pickup in tarp.
I mean,
But
30
enough
a
folks.
year? How many people visit that park?
Enough. But also the consequences are pretty high. What if that's you and your radiator hose gets
Man, I'm going to take my chances.
Question 4, the topic is cooking. The Food Network describes this as, quote, a flat, crispy corn tortilla that is typically layered with mashed or refried beans, protein, cheese, and toppings. The Food Network describes this as a flat, crispy corn tortilla that is typically layered with mashed or refried beans, protein, cheese, and toppings.
Around here, we got to worry about pack rats.
Yeah. I brought one home, what was it, last
Oh.
year, and it absolutely destroyed every single thing in my garage.
Damn.
All my hunting gear, my waders, everything.
Oh, yeah.
I saw on the Hiking Bozeman Facebook group the other day that someone had a marmot under their vehicle at Lava Lake, maybe. Where, Randall, you said you've heard of
I
porcupines.
said porcupine, yeah.
They'll get up in there, though, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd know what this is. I'd feel more confident in my answer if then you wrapped this in a soft tortilla and folded it in a trademarked hexagonal shape.
Yeah,
That
I'm
is
thinking
not
of some
the
Taco Bell
answer.
stuff right now.
Yeah, that's
Crunch
what I
Wrap
was thinking.
Supreme.
too.
The Food Network describes this as a flat, crispy corn tortilla that is typically layered with mashed or refried beans, protein, cheese, and toppings. Randall nailed it if this was a Taco Bell menu question, the crunch wrap. We're looking for the
There's
flat,
another one
crispy corn tortilla.
from Taco
There's
Bell.
a-
There was
yeah.
one. It has maybe not been on the menu for a while.
A lot of chit chat.
The Food Network
purposeful.
describes
It's
this as a
purposeful.
flat, crispy corn tortilla that is typically layered with mashed or refried beans, protein, cheese, and toppings.
Yum.
What stuff in your garage did that pack rat destroy, Tressa?
Oh, my waders, my fishing net,
Damn.
all my hunting clothes.
Who killed that eventually? Didn't Steve try to go trap it?
Yeah, he did give me some ideas, but my boyfriend didn't want to kill it. So we saved it and he drove it up to Highlight and brought some vegetables for it and released it.
That's great. For someone else to take it home.
And he took a video of it. Well, we read that they can travel, I think, like, I could be completely lying, but like 13 or 30 miles back to
drove
where it
32.
was.
Wow.
And so
Okay.
he drove it up to Highlight and released it and took
Very
a video
good.
of it.
It probably got smashed on the road going back to your house.
Probably. Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. Or Cory brought it home.
Yeah, I'm still finding stuff that it destroyed. And it ate like everything in our kayak, like the seat and everything.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, they're nasty.
It's
it
crazy what
literally
they'll
ate
do, yeah.
everything. Yeah. And holes in our wall. And
Terrible.
yeah.
Again, we're on question 4. The topic is cooking. A flat, crispy corn tortilla that is typically layered with mashed or refried beans, protein, cheese, and toppings. Is everybody ready?
Damn, Shelby got 4 of these right?
4 of them. Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Hanzi saying, what's that say?
Flauta.
Tressa says Indian fry bread. Randall says tostada. Cory, tostada. Logan, gordita. Brody,
Love a gordita.
flauta.
Uh-oh.
The correct answer is tostada.
Let's go.
Randall and Cory got that one right. Tostada means toasted in Spanish and refers to flat tortillas that are toasted or fried. Wade Trung calls them, quote, essentially an open-faced hard taco. For a tostada recipe, go check out Wade's recipe on the MeatEater.com called Turkey Tostada.
What's a flauta?
Yeah,
Flouters
I
are
can
flouters are
pull
rolled up.
but
They're close to a
Yeah.
taquito.
Very different.
They're rolled up.
And a torta
And
is
it's
like a
just
sandwich.
Torta's a
meat.
sandwich.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's
Indian fry bread's the same thing. It's just soft.
Question 5. The topic is
It's the same
fishing.
thing though.
The Florida Museum of Natural History lists nicknames for this fish as puppy drum, channel bass, and spot tail. Brody already has his answer. The Florida Museum of Natural History lists nicknames for this fish as puppy drum, channel bass, and spot tail. Randall has now joined him with an answer. And Cory. Cory, do you have this one right?
maybe.
I bet you know it. I bet you know it.
The Florida Museum of Natural History lists nicknames for this fish as puppy drum, channel bass, and spot tail.
Never heard any of those.
Randall knows it. Cory knows it. Maybe.
I think I know it.
Brody knows it.
I'll be disappointed.
I'm glad Randall's confident in my answer.
Oh, I didn't see your answer, actually. I just thought I was confident in you.
That's Something.
But I was also confident in porcupine, and look how that turned out.
Florida Museum of Natural History lists nicknames for this fish as puppy drum, channel bass, and spot tail.
Worst part is I think I know what it is. Picture it.
Okay.
Words not coming to my head.
Yeah, Randall, I had seen that same photo with like the tarps under it. Like I could have sworn MeatEater wrote an article on that a long time ago.
Maybe.
Could have sworn it was
don't recall.
porcupines.
Yeah, I know someone who had a porcupine eat the radiator hose and got stranded.
Do you have to go get him?
But no. I wasn't anywhere near this incident.
Kings Canyon, they have signage. They have an entire article on their website.
Well, how did I
dedicated
not
to
know
the
that?
marmot. That's right. Have you been to Kings Canyon?
I have, but we were hiking part of the John Muir Trail, so we came from the Bishop side and then hiked through part of it and then out
Okay.
some national
It's a
forest.
unique route.
Yeah, backpacking.
Does everybody have an
Outdoor
answer
wreck.
for what a puppy drum, channel bass, and spot tail refers to? Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Hanzi without an answer. Tressa says redfish. Randall, redfish. Cory, redfish. Logan, redfish. Brody, redfish. The correct answer is redfish or a red drum.
I wrote them both just in case.
Red drum.
Some other nicknames include reds, rat reds, bull reds, or tropical sea bass. The world record was caught near Avon, North Carolina in 1984. It weighed 94 pounds, 2 ounces.
Whoa.
Phil, we're halfway through the game of trivia. Give us a scoreboard update.
Pretty good game we got going on here. Hanzi, Tressa, and Logan all have 1 point. Cory has 2, and Randall and Brody are tied up in first place with 3 points apiece.
Tough round so far.
Jeez.
Question 6, the topic is conservation. This next great question is via Eli Glazer. What river has a dam on it that's named after America's 31st president?
Wow.
So we're looking for the river here. What river has a dam on it that's named after America's 31st president? Randall, very quick to answer. Brody just joined him with an answer. Do you think you know the 31st president, Randall? Is that what gave it away, or was it...
No,
Okay.
I was about to count backwards in my head, but then I remembered humiliating myself
That did happen.
last year. So when I answered,
and that question was far
Nixon
nearer to...
instead of Ford. Yeah. So I was like, I'm just going to stumble and make a fool of myself again on this program.
What river has a dam on it that's named after America's 31st president? So again, the name of the river. Cory, do you have this one right?
Man, I sure hope so.
Okay.
I need to study my presidents. I feel like there's enough questions that are related to presidents where if I knew all of them, I could maybe be more successful.
And to be clear, the dam is named after the president, not the river. Is everybody ready?
You shouldn't have gave that.
Yeah.
Well,
Why,
look like
that
it
was
changed
in the
anything.
question?
Be
I
weird.
could see that someone being
Do the dams have
confused.
different names?
It'd be weird if we were still naming rivers when we had a 31st president.
That's a good point.
Don't you think, guys? Be a little weird.
Is everybody ready? Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Hanzi saying Colorado, Tressa, Madison, Randall, and Cory say Colorado. Logan says the name of the dam, which is Hoover Dam. And Brody says Colorado. The correct answer
Totally.
is the Colorado River. In the design phase of the dam, it was referred to as Boulder Canyon Dam, Boulder Dam, and Black Canyon Dam before settling on Hoover Dam, which is named after Herbert Hoover. At 726 feet tall, it's only second to Orville Dam on California's Feather River. Question 7. The topic is hunting. Snoopy is this kind of dog, which AKC describes as, quote, an excellent hunting dog and loyal companion. Brody, very quick to answer.
Wow.
Snoopy
Board
is
drop.
this kind of dog, which AKC describes as an excellent hunting dog and loyal companion. Randall has now joined him.
Silly
I
question.
think I have this right.
Brody, very confident.
Cool dog.
When was the Hoover Dam built?
I think it was when Hoover was in office. So I don't know when that would have been.
Really? I bet you it was before it was.
Okay, Hoover Dam was built in 1931.
That would have been during the New Deal.
Herbert Hoover was president from 1929 to 1933.
It was when he was in office.
Again, we're on question 7. Snoopy is this kind of dog, which AKC describes as an excellent hunting dog and loyal companion.
I got a question for you.
What's that?
Do you want it to be really specific? Like, can I just say lab? Or does it have to be a
Be
black
specific.
Lab? Oh, shouldn't have asked.
Oh, jeez.
Is everybody ready?
No, hold on.
Don't let that
Snoopy
question get to you that he
Is
just
this
asked.
kind of dog, which AKC describes as an excellent hunting dog and loyal companion. Hanzi, do you have this one right?
And between 2 and I'm 50-50 on it. So
Okay.
What else could he be?
Is everybody ready? Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Hanzi saying Springer Spaniel. Tressa says Dalmatian. Randall, Beagle. Cory, Beagle. Logan, Beagle. Brody, Beagle. The correct answer is a Beagle.
Hey.
4 of our players got that one right. Is that what you were torn between, Hanzi?
Yeah.
Beagles were bred to hunt a variety of small game, but are primarily known for pursuing rabbits. The only hunting Snoopy ever did was for truffles, which takes place in a Peanuts comic strip from 1975. In that scene, Snoopy refers to himself as the world-famous truffle hound. Him and Linus instead only find a girl named Truffles, who they then compete for the affection of.
Snoopy sure didn't sound like a beagle.
I knew a
What did he
beagle
sound
named
like?
Jack. Sorry, that's a non sequitur.
What did he sound like?
We had that real whiny, squealy sound.
That seems beagle-y to me.
No, they got like,
You think?
Yeah.
Kind of yelping. We're on question 8. The topic is woodsmanship. This 7-letter word is defined as, quote, a small, steep waterfall, especially one of a series. Brody and Randall already know this one. Again, this is question 8. The topic is woodsmanship. This 7-letter word is defined as a small, steep waterfall, especially one of a series. Hanzi, you have this one right?
maybe
Okay. 7 letters.
7 letters.
All right. Logan, do you have this one right?
Potentially.
Tell me about this beagle named Jack.
Yeah. I was trying to decide whether to interject and follow up with that
we'd
story.
like to.
Because otherwise it'd just be weird if I listed out dogs that I know by name and then leave it at that. Jack lived to be 17 years old.
Damn.
Wow.
He died very recently, actually. And the very first buck I shot, I have a photo of me and Jack in the back of my pickup truck named Black Thunder.
Very good.
But he was a good man. He got skunked a lot, but he liked to chase deer.
Skunked a lot as in sprayed by skunks.
Yes, yes. He liked to chase deer and he liked to bawl. Just
He's pretty good at that.
he kind of became an asshole in his old age. He started biting things. He was blind.
Snoopy doesn't really look like a beagle, but I don't know what he looks like instead of a beagle.
That's sort of how I arrived at my answer.
On the
else
topic
could
of
he be?
skunks, like these skunks hanging on the wall here, are those like trapped? And how do you get around the scent glands?
You got to be real careful. I was with Steve when we got one. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, that stuff got everywhere. Like, we had some beaver meat sitting like 10 feet from the skunk he was skinning, and the beaver meat tasted like.
Oh my God. Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, we ate one on Pardon My Plate. We had 2 to pick from. One sprayed when it died. The other one did not. And so I had skinned them both. The one that sprayed, thought never a chance. There's no way we're going to eat this. This meat is totally toxic. So we ate the one that did not spray, and it still tasted like skunk. So don't recommend bringing that home. Again, we're on question 8. This 7-letter word is defined as a small, steep waterfall, especially one of a series. Is everybody ready? Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Hanzi saying Cascade. Tressa says Springs. Randall and Cory and Logan and Brody say Cascade. They got it. The correct answer is Cascade. The word cascade comes from the French verb cascader, which has basically the same definition. Cascades are usually made up of a series of smaller falls rather than a single large plunge of water. Phil, we have 2 questions left. Give us a leaderboard update.
Eastman's.
It is down to Cory, who has 5 points, and Randall and Brody, who have 6 points. Hanzi and Logan have 3, and Tressa has 1.
Marmots.
Question 9. The topic is fishing. This next great question is via Clint Hay. This company created the world's first motorized fish shack, which they say is the, quote, ice fishing dream machine.
Ooh, what are those called?
This company created the world's first motorized fish shack, which they say is the ice fishing dream machine. Our players are stumped. Hanzi now has an answer.
That's
Hanzi,
because I
any...
don't have a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's not confident in his
No.
answer. This company created the world's first motorized fish shack, which they say is the ice fishing dream machine. I feel like I can see our players can picture what this is, but don't know what it's called. This is question 9. This company created the world's first motorized fish shack, which they say is the ice fishing dream machine. This could be a 0%er.
When did this happen?
Not going to give you any hints. That would bring us to 2 0%ers in this episode. Question 1 and question 9, if nobody can come up with this answer. This company created the world's first motorized fish shack, which they say is the ice fishing dream machine.
Cory, would you like to clarify what you're doing on your phone so the internet doesn't yell at you for cheating?
I am. I'm texting my wife right now.
Seems important. Okay.
She definitely wouldn't know this, so don't worry.
Again, Randall and Brody do not like their answers or don't have an answer.
Don't like it.
Don't like it. Brody, do you like your answer?
No, not really.
Okay. Is everybody ready? Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Hanzi saying polar. Tressa without an answer. Randall says skidoo. Cory says beaver dam mobile. Logan Eskimo. Brody Eskimo. Nobody got it.
Oh.
The correct answer is snow bear.
I knew it was
never
like
heard of
beaver, bear, or
SNO
something like that.
bear. The company was created in 2005 by Tom Lycan in his West Fargo garage. The Snow Bear is created like a bus, or is shaped like a bus and rides on its patented Max Track system. When you park it, the hydraulic lift will lower the machine 12 inches to place you on the ice. Their website doesn't list a price, but a South Dakota dealership just sold a 2023 model for, does anyone want to guess? Make some
40,000.
guess.
35.
Higher.
65.
Higher.
75.
Higher.
Get out.
Higher.
130.
$123,000.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
that's so weird. I was going to say 124, and I think it's too high.
$123,000. That
Sorry,
was a
Phil.
South Dakota
I don't think you
dealership.
should be surprised that that was a 0%er, Spencer.
That's wild.
I mean, I
hold
thought
on.
someone could have gotten that.
Steve was in one in an episode where they went ice fishing with
Didn't Jay Siemens?
Jay Siemens.
do that?
He's
Oh,
not
wow.
here
Yeah,
right
Chester's Folly.
Hanzi
Anybody
probably
remembers
edited that episode.
I did not.
Oh.
I did not.
Yeah.
We don't need a scoreboard update. We have, we have Randall and Brody with 6 and Cory with 5 going into question 10. The topic is cooking.
Ooh.
Hawk Carl, which is fermented shark, is considered a national dish of this country.
Let's go.
Cory knows this one.
Been
He
there.
would need Randall and Brody to get this one wrong to go to overtime with them.
I've had it.
Hawk Carl, which is fermented shark, is considered a
exciting.
national dish of this country. We have Cory handing out hints. He says he's been there and he's eaten
I
it.
can't imagine that's going to help you out. Pretty sheltered Montana boy, so who knows?
I haven't updated the tiebreaker sound yet. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay.
Get ready.
Hawk Carl, which is fermented shark, is considered a national dish of this country. Cory, be prepared to give us a review of this food after we reveal the answer.
Yeah. And I had to look at the screen because I thought you said hot Carl.
I thought so too. We
Which is
used
a
to work
different-
here.
What do you call that A? What kind of A is that there?
Accent, I guess.
Goo, goo.
Is that what
This type that I normally use for trivia can't do accents, so I had to
take it.
change it to a different font.
HAKARL.
Pretty sure there's
Hakarl,
a in there somewhere.
which is fermented shark, is considered a national dish of this country. Randall, do you have it narrowed down to a few countries?
I do.
Have you thought about where Cory may have been?
I have.
Okay, is that helping you?
Shouldn't.
What's your last name again, Cory?
Carl.
Yeah.
Hot Carl.
I'm just joking. I know you're lying.
I think the only real. No, I don't even want to say that.
Hakarl, which is fermented shark, is considered a national dish of this country. Hanzi, do you have this one right?
Yes.
Have you eaten this before?
No. I would.
All right.
I would.
Well, we'll see what Cory has to
I
say.
feel like almost
about
every travel show that goes to this country has this dish.
it. Okay, another hint.
Like, I'm just saying.
There's been a lot of
goodness.
hints. We're tip-tapping around these
Let me
hints.
see what you got.
Brody has flopped down his whiteboard. Is everybody ready?
I think
We had Randall flash his whiteboard to Cory, and Cory sort of.
Cory
I think he
visibly
grimaced.
recoiled.
Yeah. Go ahead and reveal your answers. We have Hanzi saying Iceland, Tressa, Australia, Randall, Iceland, Cory, Iceland, Logan, Iceland, Brody, Norway. The correct answer is Iceland, making Randall our winner with 7 correct answers.
Did I help you out with that one?
was real close.
You didn't know.
The biggest tell for me was the A with the diacritical mark, whatever that's called. I figured it was a Scandinavian country. I thought I remember you saying at some point you've been to Iceland.
On MeatEater Radio, we talked about our coolest camping spots. And
Yeah.
didn't you talk about Iceland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when we talked about travel shows going to this
Oh,
country.
my goodness.
Also, I can say this because I'm Norwegian. I just figured, like, if it was Norwegian, it was also Swedish. I felt like those were too close together,
Oh,
but I
sure.
figured it was in that general realm of things. And I'm Norwegian, and I've
Thank
never
you
heard
for
of
the
it.
qualifier. Hakarl is sometimes referred to as
Busting out the
rotten
cell phone.
shark because its fermentation process lasts for 5 months. It's made of Greenland shark and often served on toothpicks. It's customary to take a shot of alcohol afterwards to chase down the cheesy, fishy taste of the shark. Cory, how was it?
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Putrefied
Fishy
shark.
taste.
Yeah, and they want you to ideally you chase it down with vodka, a local vodka called Black Death. So you could imagine what that
Okay.
tastes like.
Did you go back for seconds?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, good on you for
It was pretty bad, but mainly because I wanted that second shot of Black Death.
you'll try anything twice.
It's pretty rough. I had to pinch my nose the second
Like a
time.
marmot and radiator fluid.
He's addicted. Randall gets to choose where the $500 donation goes today. What's it going to be, Randall?
Let's send this one to the New York chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers.
Okay, very specific. What do they got going on?
Hosting the Muster in the Mountains this summer, August 1st to August 3rd in Westkill, New York, which is a gathering for, East Coast, or I should say, Eastern public lands aficionados. And so a lot of times our public lands talk is very Western-centric. So I had a listener point out to me that there are public land lovers all over this great country.
Okay.
So if you're in the neck of the woods, August 1st through 3rd, check out Muster in the Mountains.
Wow.
Cal might be there.
Well,
I don't know.
It wouldn't be possible without Randall's donation. So they're going to be, every time they take a drink that weekend, Randall, they're going to do a little cheers to you.
You're just cutting me off at the knees in my moment of triumph. Typical. We began this game with a shot at old Randall, and we end with a shot at... Actually, let's end with this. Thanks, Spencer.
Oh, thank you, Randall. Join us next week for more MeatEater Trivia, the only game show where conservation always wins.
Yeah, Spencer from South Dakota, he's the host. Using those smooth, mellow tones, he lays them questions down. And he likes taking those 2- and 3-year-old bucks. And he's an avid amateur